Good evening, everybody. It's 9:30 on the East Coast, 6:30 on the West Coast on a Monday. It must mean it's time for your weekly Calamity Jane live stream. James, how are you doing this evening? I have no weather comment right now because it's actually pretty nice in Georgia.
Yeah, same here. Same, again, there's no drama with the LA weather for the most part, except for when we get once in a century firestorms or something like that.
Right.
So, and then we'll get the whatever is it El Nino part three coming or something? I
Whatever.
don't
I don't
know.
know. It's
Yeah, I
El
can't keep
Nino, La
track.
Nina, El
Yeah.
Verde. I mean, who knows?
So something I think there's a tropical storm coming at some point, but I'm not sure if it's the East Coast one or I just saw a random snippet online. About news about that type of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
no, everything's great over here. Everything's just dandy. No complaints on my side. Weather's great, and just doing my thing on my side. And it sounds like you are as well on
Love
your
to
side,
hear it.
huh?
Love to hear it. Yeah, indeed. So,
Cool.
what are we animating today? Oh shoot, hold on. I forgot to set the sharing permissions.
That was a fun running joke when we first started doing this,
Yeah, and then I
where
got good at it for a while, and
you
now
were
all of a
really good at it.
sudden, yeah,
Yeah, now it's even if you do, even if you don't have it set, it's not even the same anymore
yeah, I
because
know that's
it's
true.
so you have it down to a science now.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. You should be free now.
Okay, we'll go into it. Anybody who's joining our stream and hasn't been here before, welcome. This is where Eric and I hang out in the writer's room and I animate for our cartoon. And we just kind of talk and chill and talk about games, pop culture, movies, and all that stuff. And I'm sure Eric's got plenty. Eric's got plenty to gripe about today. Might be more of a gripe session today, more than a hype session. We'll
Yeah,
see.
maybe.
We'll
We'll
see.
see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Mina the Hollower. Wow, man. I'm just gonna jump right in. What a
Hmm.
disappointment for me. Uh, I mean, every game reviewer in the world loves this game, and for the life of me, I don't know why. I really don't. It is the worst game I've played maybe in 3 years.
Oh man, worse. Like you. So okay. So to give some backstory, you were excited about this game.
For
You
a
were pretty.
long time, I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You had some concerns about it from the demo,
Hmm.
based on the jumping mechanic. I could recall some of this
And
is
the difficulty
hazy.
level and how the,
Yeah,
the, the healing system worked. Yeah.
yeah. And this is the Yacht Club Games
Follow up
new
to Shovel Knight.
IP.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow up to Shovel Knight. You were excited. I did a hard pass because I wasn't a big fan of the level
Yeah.
design of
As
Shovel
we
Knight,
as
but
we know, as we know. Yes.
yeah, but Shovel again, and complete credit to the art team and music team and the just the overall design and branding
Hmm.
team. They're great.
Hmm.
It's just I have issues with the level design team, and it seems like they finally did their 1,000 cuts to you to a point where you've now given up on them. To a point where you have hate. Like I don't even hate Shovel Knight, or I don't have that much visceral anger towards them. But with your text review that you gave me a little
Yeah.
snippet of yesterday, boy, you were pissed. Um,
I mean, I think that are good ideas somewhere inside of the package that they delivered. But I think that those good ideas are so completely mired in this design style of we are going to make the player feel like an idiot and feel like they're worthless until they can accomplish a task, and then they'll feel good about themselves because they overcame this. And this is not me being hyperbolic. I literally had someone tell me today that
mhm.
is why they like games like Dark Souls and Mina the Hollower, because they feel dumb. The game makes them feel like they're bad at video games. The game is like punishing them for playing, so that
Mhm.
when they do conquer it, they have this sense of overwhelming
The dopamine
victory.
rushes. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
because you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm like, wow, this is how you play video games. You want, I mean, it's just like verging on BDSM in my opinion, digital BDSM, right? And the
Hmm.
game is
Sure.
the dom and the player is the sub, and I'm like, I am just not here for that.
uh,
Um, and Mina the Hollower 100% follows this formula.
mhm.
I mean, where to start with this game? The jumping mechanics between the demo and the launch, they did a lot of work on fixing a very, very broken system, in my opinion. And they brought the game from fundamentally unplayable to at least baseline playable. But
Hmm.
the amount of jumping you do in the game is still, I don't know that they could have worked on this. They could have worked on this for 20 years and never have gotten it right.
Hmm.
There's a reason why you don't do a lot of jump traversal in overhead games, right?
Hmm.
It's
Sure.
just hard to read. Like, where is your
Yeah.
hitbox? Where's the landing
Yeah.
spot? I mean, it's
You're
hard to
fighting.
read.
Yeah, you're fighting a design aesthetic
Yeah, yeah,
that's really not natural for it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they leaped so deeply, yeah, pun, but into this was ridiculous to me. Like, it just, yeah, so it's fine under some circumstances, but then you'll get into these zones where all you do is you jump your way through the entire environment, and it's just like, wow,
Hmm.
this falls apart immediately. Not to mention the fact that it seems like they've designed the enemy layouts in some of these rooms intentionally to knock you off of platforms and into pits. um and it's just like, it's just ridiculous. And then you've got the issue of Mina can only attack in cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, but enemies can attack in any direction and move in any direction.
Hmm.
Bosses have way too much HP. The healing system, which we've talked about in the past, is might be one of the dumbest design ideas I've ever heard of, where your healing vials can only heal you if you've hit enemies enough to build up plasma in your health bar. And so you can get yourself in these situations where enemies don't respawn until you go into a safe room, right?
Hmm.
So you can get yourself in a situation where you've killed all the enemies and you've got this
Hmm.
complex jumping puzzle section that you have to get through. Um, and you take damage when you fall into pits, but because there's no enemies to kill, you can't build up your plasma, and so you will actually get into situations where you are dying by 1,000 cuts because you keep falling into pits as you're trying to navigate this overly difficult jumping section. You
Hmm.
have health potions to heal, but the game won't let you heal because you don't have plasma.
It's
It
such
is,
a weird
I don't know
setup, you know.
who came up with this, but it is arguably the dumbest implementation of a health system I've ever seen in a video game ever. Um, there are traversal progression locked behind your Castlevania style sidearms, but
Hmm.
you can only carry one sidearm at a time. When you die,
Hmm.
you lose that sidearm. And you can't, it's not like you have all these sidearms at your disposal and you just equip them. No, 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 no. You have to find them Castlevania style by hitting candelabras and sconces and things of that nature. And so you have to remember that 12 maps over, 12 screens over, there's this thing that requires the axe, and this sconce on this screen drops the
Oh,
axe,
jeez.
right? Um, Now that's bad in of itself, but compounding this, there's no map, there's no waypoint system, there's no guidance whatsoever, which is by
Hmm.
design, right?
Hmm.
Um, and it's unbelievable. You get lost. Like I've put in almost 10 hours into the game,
Hmm.
and made it through the first two of six zones. And when I got to the end of the second zone, I quit the game. But the reason it took me 10 hours to get through two zones is because I couldn't figure out where I was. I couldn't
Hmm.
remember which direction I came from. I couldn't remember which direction I was going. And a part of this is, even though the aesthetics are very cool looking, I love the Game Boy retro vibe of the look of the game.
Hmm.
Everything looks the same necessarily because of their chosen design aesthetic, right?
Hmm.
And so I couldn't tell one waterlogged swamp map from another waterlogged swamp map, and I have no guidance, right?
Yeah.
So it took me 10 hours to do two parts of the game because I was just fundamentally lost. Um, and like, they have a fast travel system, which is fine, but you don't get access to it for the longest time, as near as I can tell. And I don't know. Again, like the zero punctuation guy talked about this in his review, and he wasn't like it, this game has been getting glowing reviews, and for the life of me, I don't know why. He did not give it a
Mhm.
glowing review. And one of
Okay.
the things he complained about, which I agree with, is there are mirrors randomly in the environment that are your fast travel thing, but you don't
Hmm.
just walk into the mirror. You don't interact with the mirror. You don't jump through the mirror. You have to continue pressing against the mirror in the direction that you want to walk until Mina finally snaps through it.
What?
Yeah. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you
So
do that?
is there any sound effect that lets you know that you're doing something
Once
different?
you've held it down for a few frames, yeah, sound effect starts building, an animation
Okay.
and the reflection starts. But like any other game, you walk up the wall, you hit it. If nothing happens, okay. You
Yeah.
you try to interact with it by pressing the A button. Nothing happens. Okay, you
Yeah,
move on.
sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Mina
there's
the
no
Hollower,
immediate
yeah,
there's no immediate
there's
feedback,
no
right?
immediate feedback, and Mina the Hollower teaches you that from frame one of the game. That just like every other game, this is how you interact with the world, except for
Um,
entering quick travel mirrors or
mm,
fast travel mirrors. Um, they have these like pipes that will send you around the environment. No idea where they're going to take you, and there's so many of them, and it's just like I don't remember if this pipe is going to take me to this house or this swamp dungeon. Like it's you can't it's impossible to remember unless you've got literally a notebook next to you like writing all this stuff
yeah.
down. It's like, that was
As if you
fun.
were in the yeah, as if you're in the 80s.
Right. If I was 8 years old, this would be fun, but I'm 45 years old. We have come beyond this, right? Like this isn't
Yeah.
they did that in the 80s out of a necessity, not because they thought it was cool. And the
Yeah.
second games like Super Metroid started adding mini maps. Guess what? We never looked back for good
Yeah.
reason,
Yeah. Hmm.
right? Um so yeah, I mean, and then, so I guess the saddest part is everything that I am bitching about right now.
Uh-huh.
Yacht Club Games knew about this. They knew about it because they added this incredibly robust modifier system where you could
Yeah.
go on, you can turn on flags, turn off flags to customize the difficulty to your playstyle, right? You can
Hmm.
change the amount of health that you lose when being hit. You can reduce the boss's HP. You can turn off the plasma healing system.
Hmm.
Um, in the swamps, and this is like the dumbest thing. I don't know who thought that this was clever. Mina, if she just jumps into the water, dies. She drowns, and you get teleported back to the beginning of the screen. However, if you burrow into the water, then all of a sudden you can swim briefly. It is
That makes no
it's
sense.
so
Like,
dumb. But guess what?
uh,
You don't like that? Well, they have a modifier to turn that off. And I'm sitting
yeah.
there going, every problem that I have with this game, you can go into the modifier screen and turn off, right?
Sure.
If you have this degree of tweaking and half of those tweaks are just, hey, here are all these game systems we know are difficult, you can turn them off. Why would you put them in the game in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Right.
yeah, to me that was a bad sign. And you at this point, I remember you telling me about this whole modifying system
Mm-hmm.
over the weekend, and at that point, that was a huge red flag for me because it told me, why are they leaving the dev kit inside of their game?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
because I think there's a soft acknowledgement that the game is insanely hard. And I know we both talked about this a little bit, like for example, a first party PlayStation game has an easy mode, normal, and
Mm-hmm.
hard,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's just a global thing.
Right.
Their game, from what you're telling me, is so complicated that you actually have to have a dev kit just to make it
Playable. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
playable for somebody,
Yeah.
for people that don't have the twitch reflexes of a 18-year-old, for
Right.
example, right?
Right. Exactly. Or
It's weird.
the masochistic streak of so many hardcore gamers out there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
sure.
and
Um,
yeah, and so, I've deleted it off my Switch too. I'm done with it.
you're
I
that angry that you deleted it off. Yeah, you were.
when I got finally finished the second zone, which was the swamp zone, which is filled with water you can burrow through but can't swim in. Again, I just don't know who thought this was a clever idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and knew without a shadow of a doubt that if I had not turned off the plasma health system and had not turned on damage reduction by 50%, I
Mm-hmm.
would not have been able to beat that area. Not because of the enemy difficulty, but because the platforming was so frustrating and so
Yeah,
unforgiving that I would have died just by virtue of trying to navigate through the space.
man.
And so yeah, when I made it out of that space, I'm like, nope, I am absolutely done with this game. This was a waste of my time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I mean, I know you were looking forward to this game for like at least a year. I think they
Oh yeah.
announced it last year,
Multiple.
right?
No, they
So
they announced it years plural ago. It was supposed to come
now,
out last October and they delayed it until end of May. And that was after 3 or 4 previous delays. This is a game that's
mhm,
been in production hell for nearly a decade now. Um, and it tells me that there was a lot of internal strife with the team. Uh,
mhm.
the
You
the
think so?
I think so. I mean, I think given the modifier system, they knew what they had, right? If they thought that this game was perfectly balanced, it was hitting exactly the audience that they wanted to hit, they would not have put Dark Souls doesn't put a modifier system in like that,
No. And
right?
again, here's
Monster
where
Hunter
you and I.
doesn't, you know. I
Nope.
mean,
They don't. Yeah.
right? They're,
Yeah.
you know, and yet Yakob Games did, and it says to me that the team that made this game wanted to make something that people would hate. Uh, Now that's is a good and a bad thing. Like the person that I was telling you who told me just today that they want to be punished, they want to be made to feel like an
Hmm.
idiot, they want to feel dumb until they overcome it, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Um, they like hating the game. They derive pleasure from hating a game, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
When I hate a game, I just stop playing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I guess my question is, the game has been getting 10 out of 10. It's the highest rated game of 2026 so far. Um, but I was doing some thinking, like, what does that actually mean? What it means is that the approximately 250, 300 people in the world who call themselves game journalists and are, productive enough that they can get the review on Metacritic, they like these games, right?
Hmm.
But all
Hmm.
reviewers are this kind of, you know, all reviewers that I know love this kind of thing. This is the types of games that they love to play, right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me that it's getting a 10 out of 10. So the question is this 10 out of 10 highest rated game of 2026 so far indicative of what the general audience feels of it? Or is it a microcosm of players who just happen to have a voice on the internet, and are a majority of the players are like myself who hate the game and are using any platform that they can to tell people avoid this at all costs. It is
Hmm.
not worth $20.
Man,
You
that
are
is.
wasting your money.
Hmm. So here's yeah, it's interesting. We talk. It's is this part of internet culture where we're at right now, where things are so polarized and almost cultish that every single thing that you have a parasocial relationship with. For example, even Nintendo fanboys, and
I
I
mean,
know you're a Nintendo
oh yeah,
fanboy, but you at
hardcore.
least have
No denying it.
yeah,
Yeah,
objective. But there's an objective looking glass. I mean, outside of your Nintendo looking glass, you can still be objective about some things that exist about Nintendo. For example,
sure.
right?
I
You're
mean,
still a
yeah,
fan.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to lose your Nintendo membership fan club just
No,
because you
not in
criticize
danger of
Nintendo.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, but I feel like people kind of get so emotionally attached to whatever product, or let's just go. If we're diving into games, they're attached to Yacht Club games. They have such an affinity for Shovel Knight and all the joy that that game brought them that they don't want to see anything negative happen to one of their kin or their altar of Shovel Knight. And I don't want to say I hate to sound like I'm talking down, but that's what I feel like in a nutshell what the internet's become with stuff. Like when it comes to movies, the same thing. A director, same thing. Like people become cultish about stuff to a point where they don't want to acknowledge that something can be bad and can be made by a creative team or person, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
don't
I
know. What do you think?
I think in particular you are right uh on this one.
Hmm.
So a couple of months before um Mina the Hollower came out, a big expose was released about how Yakum Games was kind of on its last breath, and Mina the Hollower is basically their make or break game.
Oh,
If
interesting.
if Mina the
Okay.
Hollower was a failure, the company goes out of business. Like that was what the
Wow.
expose claimed. Um, and this within the gaming news kind of universe was kind of a bombshell. Um,
Huh.
and so Yacht Club is beloved by fans of Shovel Knight,
Hmm.
as you just stated. And so I think that there is almost certainly a an aspect of we need to boost Yacht Club um, to make sure that they can keep going, right? And
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I did too. I kind of
Yeah,
suspected I
sure.
wasn't gonna like this game, but I bought it anyway just because I know
Uh-huh.
that they're good devs, and I'm in the industry. I don't want any company to go out of business, pure and simple, right?
Hmm.
So I kind of, whether it's true or not, I bought into that expose as well, right?
Okay.
If that expose hadn't come out, I may not have even bought Meet of the Hollower based on my experiences with the demo, right?
So you were actually, so as a fan, you were actually worried about Yacht Club Games going under too. You were kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, I love their game, and okay,
Mm-hmm.
got you. I didn't know that. That's crazy. I didn't
Yeah,
had no
but
idea.
it's not going to stop me from saying this is a bad game
Yeah.
and you should
Hmm.
not play it,
Yeah.
right? I don't want Yacht Club
Yeah.
Games to go out of business. I want them to make
Yeah.
more games, and my hope is that their future games will be better. But Meet of the Hollower, total miss in my opinion, absolute 100% miss.
Man, what a such a disappointment. It's a bummer to hear that. So what do you think? Do you think it's sold enough to keep them afloat now based on your experience with the game and the cult that's out there that's worshiping the game and then people that are trying to warn, like I wonder where it's going to go because I'm not buying it. I'm not going to spend
Well,
money
yeah,
on it
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, my hope is just as a dev and as a fan of Shovel Knight that yeah,
Hmm.
I hope it sold 1 million units. I mean, I would, it's hard. I'm of two minds. Like, I don't think this is a
Yeah.
good game. I wouldn't recommend anybody
Yeah.
playing this game unless you have a very specific subset of interests.
Yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
same token, like, I would hate for Yacht Club to go out of business because I know that there's an insane amount of talent there that has an amazing set of ideas. And for them to go away because of one project that I think was in development too long and ended up not being very good would be really sad for me. And so yeah, I'm of two minds, right? In the as a game player, as a someone who has appreciated games for the most of his life, I cannot even remotely recommend Mina the Hollower. Not at all.
Mm.
But I still want Yacht Club to succeed. I want them to thrive, and I want them to try again and make another game, which hopefully they'll take lessons from Mina the Hollower and apply that. So, but remains to be seen.
Yeah. I'm wondering now. So I'm assuming on Steam, it's overwhelmingly positive for reviews right now.
I suspect so. I haven't looked, but yeah, I got it on the Switch
Um,
too, and there's no way to really check any of
yeah,
that stuff on the Switch too.
yeah. But I mean, if we use Steam as the guide, what's going to happen is the first week or two, maybe month, it'll
Tons of
be
sales.
overly,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then then reality will set in, and then we'll see. Now let's go to the flip side of all this is Monster Hunter Wilds, right? Everybody was looking forward to that game, right?
Huge
And that
numbers right at the
thing,
gate, and then it crashed
yeah,
and burned so
and it crashed
fast.
and burned. Word of mouth got out about how
Mm-hmm.
bad it was on PC port, right? So
But
it
I'm
makes me
not worried about
wonder.
Capcom.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Capcom's huge, but I mean, if we're going back to this whole notion I had about the cult of personality, cult of game, like that one's got a huge following too.
oh
I would
yeah,
think.
yeah,
I'm definitely a follower. I love the Monster Hunter franchise, thanks to you.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I am one of the followers too, but I didn't get Wilds based on what your review was, what
Yeah,
you were
I
telling me
mean,
about it.
once
Um,
once I,
yeah.
unlocked the big bad boss and could start fighting the tempered monsters or whatever the equivalent was in Monster Hunter Wilds, I did a couple of hunts.
Mhm.
It was like, all right, I'm done with this game, and
Yeah.
I've never gone back. I think I've booted it
Yeah.
up once or twice to see the new updates, and was sort of like, yeah, but then I have to play the game and
Yeah.
quit. Whereas Rise right now, if they did another update to Rise, I'd probably put another 100 hours into Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure what Rise's sales numbers are. Like I think I'm assuming I'm assuming Wilds will not touch Rise's numbers at this point. It feels like Rise was pretty successful, right?
Yeah, I don't
Um
know. I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds broke all sorts of records for
oh, it did?
Capcom. Oh yeah,
Okay.
for
Okay.
initial sales and number of
Okay.
players, et cetera, et cetera. Although I'm pretty
So
sure, at least on PC, it's largely crashed and burned at this point.
okay. Yeah. So I mean this is a really long-winded way of saying, we saw a cult of following for the Wilds game. It did sell like gangbusters. Word of mouth got out, and then you saw the reviews kind of dip and everything like that.
Hmm.
The overwhelmingly positive, I don't think ever matched that again. I'm not sure where it's at now. I think it's probably
It's
stabilized.
probably
But I'm wondering
stabilized. Yeah.
now, yeah, but I'm wondering now with Mina if we're gonna see a whole bunch of positivity, toxic positivity, but they're not gonna stay there every day refreshing the page to make sure it stays positive.
I mean,
And over
yeah.
time, we're gonna
I,
see
we'll
it go back
see
to the mean.
if Reddit is any indication, and it's usually not, but
Hmm.
uh, the the aftershocks of the initial wave of positivity has been incredibly negative on
What?
Reddit.
Really?
Yeah. Um, in specific, all of the things that I just talked about. I mean, I'm not
Hmm.
a genius, right? Like I'm not providing any insight that a million other gamers can't notice and articulate.
Hmm.
And they are articulating them to varying degrees of intelligence all over the internet right now. And the what always happens is the people who do love the game, their defense is always, I don't understand why you think this is hard, get good. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's
that's
yeah.
not a defense of the difficulty. That's not, that doesn't, I'm like, that doesn't like, oh, yeah, what was I thinking? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas I just spent a half hour explaining in very intricate detail why I don't think the game is worthwhile. I have yet to
Yeah.
see anybody who loves the game articulate in any way other than, well, I just like difficult games.
Yeah.
Um, why the game is good, and that's fine. If you just like punishing games, great. I'm never going to tell you not to play them. You
Hmm.
play the games you want to play, enjoy the games that you want to play. Um, but for my taste, and again, it's my opinion. As always, everybody has an asshole, and they usually stink. Um, like um, and so that's fine. I recognize that my opinion is not necessarily the factual one, or the begin all and end all of truth.
Hmm.
But I will say the people who have been kind of don't like the game have a lot of very
They seem
convincing,
loud.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, very convincing arguments for why the game fails. And the people who are defending the game largely have just been, I don't think this is hard, you're just not good at
Get good.
games. Yeah.
Yeah, get good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the get good crowd.
Right.
They'll always be there. They've been there since Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is just a new manifestation of them. So it gets to a point where you keep seeing that, and then I think now it's been when did Dark Souls come out? In 2013 or something like that? Something
It's
crazy.
been around for a
I
while. Yeah.
the get good thing is I feel like it's kind of tired. And I'm a Dark Souls fan. I love
Yeah.
Dark
Yeah.
Souls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love the punishing aspect of that particular game because it was unique for the time. It was kind of to me a throwback of like hard games. But when they kept milking it over and over and over again and not doing anything new with it, then it got tired. And I feel like the get good crowd, that term get good, is also getting is gotten tired by now. That's just
Mm-hmm.
my humble opinion. Again, like you're saying, everybody's got assholes and opinions and they stink. But
Yeah.
I'd feel like just over time it's degraded. It doesn't have the same bite as it used to, even 5 years out after Dark Souls 1 up to Dark Souls 3. Like Get Good was kind of funny and kind of like a snicker and a ribbing of the elbow with people. But now there's enough if you have enough data to back up why the game sucks, the Get Good that's not enough. You need
Right.
to have data to say why it's good.
You can, right. I mean, like I
You
have
know?
liked games that everybody hates. I have hated games that everybody
Yes.
likes, and
Sure.
that's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
But it has to be more than you're bad. You're just bad. It's your fault. It's your fault that you don't like the game, right? Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and that is largely to this point been the most cogent defense of Mina the Hollower at this, that I've seen on the internet, which is you're just not good at getting video games, so you don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
it's not a good enough defense anymore. It's just not.
right,
Uh,
yeah. So, and like I said, the guy that I was talking to today, him talking about how he is a sub for video games, that
yeah.
was his defense on why the game is good, because it made him feel bad. It made him feel small, so that when he did overcome it, that gave him the huge dopamine hit. And I'm like, wow, that probably says more about you than you want to admit.
Sure. Yeah. I hate to play age, but is he younger too?
No, he's our
Like
age. He's our
he's our
age.
age.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, he's
yeah,
saying that. Okay.
yeah,
I was expecting a younger person that just hasn't played, that is an old head like us, at this
yeah.
point.
Right, right.
It's just been around a few times, run around the block and played a ton of games. But man, he's saying that as an older head. That's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people that's just the flavor they want, I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, and that's fine. Like again,
Mhm,
I'm bitching and moaning, and I'm being strident and opinionated, but it, that is what it ultimately is my opinion.
mhm.
And if you like the game, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
that's fine. But
yeah.
still, don't buy it. It's terrible. It's just an awful game.
Well, I'll take your advice on this one. I kind of saw it coming, but I didn't want to say anything. You and I have differing opinions on a game all the time. I knew this was kind of, you liked Shovel Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You, I don't know, you liked it a lot, and I just
Yeah.
liked it. So
This is, and I think that like going back to articulating your dislike or like of a game, you did such a great job of explaining why you didn't like Shovel Knight, right?
yeah,
And
yeah. Thanks.
that's always the thing where it's just like I completely understand your perspective. I
Yeah.
completely agree with why you feel this way. I don't feel that way, right? Like
Yep. Uh-huh.
that's
Yeah.
different than you're just bad at games, get good, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yes. But what's funny, so for me though, that was enough of a warning sign, and this is where we get back to the creative process, the process of making the game, that if the level designers were doing that in that game, I was making an abstract conclusion that the next game they're going to make in the games forever will
Mm-hmm.
always be annoying like that, where they'll
Mm.
have something that just cheaply tries to kill you all the time, and it has nothing to do with testing your skill anymore, and it's just about almost relying on twitchy reflexes or an RNG element to it. That's
Yeah.
just, I just didn't want to put up with that anymore.
Well,
But yet here I am. I play Balatro every day
yeah.
too, and so you know what I mean. Like here's
Yeah.
where the hypocrisy comes in a little bit too.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
Balatro is fun to play. I mean, in general, it's just a relaxing game to me. It's not the same
well,
genre.
I mean, my complaints about RNG aside, right? Balatro is phenomenally well designed, has an incredibly intuitive progression system, incredibly compelling game loop, um, lovely visuals and sound design,
Hmm.
right? Like
Yeah,
I burnt out of Balatro ultimately because the RNG got too much
it
for
was
me.
yeah, and that's fair. That makes total sense.
Yeah, but there is no question that Balatro is one of the best games that came out last year, right? Like
Mm,
I don't, I don't dispute that at all. Was it ultimately for me? No, but
hmm.
again, I have a low tolerance for RNG, right? That doesn't make the game bad, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, So yeah, I just find it different, right? Like the things that I didn't like about Balatro weren't, in my opinion, things that like the RNG is a fundamental part of the game.
Uh-huh.
And the devs aren't ever going to turn off the RNG, right? They allow you
Yeah.
to put in particular seeds if you want to play the same seed over and over again. But
Yeah.
that's really the only thing that they're going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Like that's good. But the fact that Mina the Hollower has a modifier that turns off literally every system that I just spent the last half hour complaining about, that
Mm-hmm.
says something.
That does. Like even Balatro, like you just said. I mean, I'm regurgitating what you just said. You have the seed aspect of it where you can just replay a run of a game. But there's nothing else because it's just you can there's so much it's so malleable of a game that you can play it the difficulty any way you want. You can
Mm-hmm.
play it
Mm-hmm.
super easy or super hard. And it's all there built in. It's part of the dynamic of the game. But yeah, having a dev kit this just shows the eject button must have been, I don't know.
Yeah.
I I think I think your intuition about having a trouble production is probably spot on. Just based on that alone, that it was included in there like that.
It would,
So
yeah, it would not surprise me. I'm not, gonna say it will happen, but it wouldn't surprise me though if, um, uh, in 6 months, maybe less,
mhm.
they do a huge update that adds a waypoint system,
Mm.
possibly a mini map, revisions to how the sidearms. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So, oh my
There's
god.
even more, but there's more.
But wait, there's
Yeah.
more. And
Oh
and this is
man.
like I think if they do it, this will be one of the things that they change. Um, you can't. There's 5 weapons in the game. There's like 30, 40, 50 different trinkets, and the trinkets all do different things. Like you take less damage from spike traps.
Mhm.
Collectibles are magnetized to you. You swim faster. It's just a million different things.
Yeah.
You cannot, in the heat of the moment, change your weapon or change your trinkets. You have to go
Okay.
to a safe room to change those.
Okay.
Unless you get a trinket in the environment. And the first time you unlock it, it lets you change your equipment. But if you choose not to change it, if you accidentally exit out of that window and go, ah, shit, I meant to equip it. Nope, now
Uh-huh.
you can't. Now you have to go to a safe room. Um, Even worse, when you unlock a new weapon, it auto equips that weapon and will not let you change back to the weapon you were using. Like, I am all about getting a new toy and playing with a new toy, but I want to
Yeah,
do it
sure.
on my terms.
Yeah.
But I started playing with the whip, and then I unlocked the hammer. And when I unlocked the hammer, it auto equipped the hammer and wouldn't let me re-equip the chain whip. It said no, you have to go to a safe room to change your weapon that you're using. And I'm like,
Hmm.
that is incredibly stupid. Um,
Yeah, that's odd because don't you want it to be situational for a room? You see it and then you can adapt to it and
mm-hmm. Yep, yep. And like if
yeah.
I'm not ready to use the hammer, why are you forcing me to use it? Right? Like I love a new toy, but like right now I'm in the midst of something. You know, I'm playing a particular way. You won't let me change the trinkets that I have equipped unless I'm in a safe room, and but you're gonna force me to equip the hammer now? Like what in the actual fuck?
S-
Like
So I'm just gonna in my head again because it's all abstract to me, but in my head we solved this with the Legend of Zelda, right? Like when you unlock your weapons, they're all in your inventory. You can when you go to a certain room or part of the overworld, you see Octoroks and you want to use Boomerang, you can just use it anytime you want to. You just switch to it and
right,
you can access it, right?
right.
So why would there be a design decision to deliberately not, and maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but why would you have a design decision to not let you do that?
Not a clue.
Unless you're trying to artificially make it cumbersome and hard. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
understand the advantage
Yeah. And that's the
of that.
only, honestly, that's the only modifier that they didn't have
Oh
was
man.
you can change weapons and trinkets on the go, right? That's the only modifier that they didn't have that I would have liked to have seen. Um,
Man.
and then like then there's this other bizarre UX problem where you collect bones. That's the collectibles in the game. But bones
Hmm.
are your currency and your experience,
Oh, okay.
right? Which in and of itself, okay, fine. I don't
That's interesting.
it's not necessarily bad or good. It's a weird choice,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
fine. Um and it wouldn't bother me too much except that sometimes when you level up, the game forces you to choose an attribute to level up rather than going, no, I'm going to skip it because I want to hold on to my currency because I want to buy this thing back in the
Hmm.
town.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, like, there's been plenty of times I'm like, I'm saving my cash. I'm going to make it back to town at some
Hmm.
point. There's the thing that I know that's there that I want to buy. Oops, I leveled
Yeah.
up. Well, I'll just exit out of it. Nope, sorry. We will not let you exit out of this level up screen unless you purchase a level up.
Hmm.
And I'm like, great. Well, awesome. You're going to make me do this. Well, it cost 5,000 bones to increase my health. And it cost 5,000 bones to buy the thing that I wanted to buy. So you have removed my agency for how to use my currency and forced me into this path. And now the strategy that I was building to play this game, you have broken, not me. You
Yeah.
have broken,
Yeah.
right?
Oh man. Hair pulling.
Just,
That's what this feels like to
oh
me,
yeah,
man.
no. Just, I mean, if I weren't already bald, I would be now. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, yeah, it's confusing as to some of the things that they
just
it's is it is
bizarre
yeah.
design
Yeah.
choices. Bizarre
Yeah.
design choices.
Well, at least you made it through this. At least, well, it's this is a rare game as a friend watching you traverse because you went from excitement to middling to okay
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
I felt like it was very roller coaster compared to other games I've seen
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
you and I have
yeah,
talked about where I don't think I've ever been on a game where I've kind of had a roller coaster ride like that, like where and then an extreme visceral hate to a point where you were texting about it. Like
yeah.
that's pretty crazy. Um, but that shows how much you really cared about the game too, obviously, because it elicited that kind of response from you to where
Mm.
you had a lot of hopes for it too, and such a bummer
Yeah,
to see that.
biggest disappointment for me, and I can't remember how long.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Anyway,
I mean, well, as far as not being disappointed, I will tell you, I'm celebrating a victory tonight, but we've got Leon removing his poncho, and it's pretty much
ooh,
animated. But
very
I'll play
nice.
through
Okay,
just so we can see it for the most part. I might do a couple more, but takes it, tips up his hat, phew, disappears.
nice,
So we've got that
nice.
whole chunk now pretty much done. The only thing I might do
Mm-hmm.
is in the original art, I had when he disappears, I put a lot of like sparkly stuff in like white around him. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably do that to kind of give an echo to when he fades out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's about it. But other than that, we've got ourselves a pretty good little sequence where Clowny's pushed over, removes the cape. Yeah.
Nice.
Any thoughts from the writer's room as you kind of watch this?
It's exactly as I envisioned it in my head. That's my thoughts.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So yay, we have a victory tonight, or at
One
least some
victory.
not a
One
disappointment.
victory. Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
did get that. So,
Yeah.
but cool. I'm in pretty good shape to stop tonight, unless you want to.
Well,
Unless you guys.
I think you nailed it on the head. Like my emotional reaction to this game, I've played countless bad games in my life, and
Yeah, yeah. Same
99%
here.
of the time, like, well, that was a waste of money. Oh, well, moving right along.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it was my hopes for this game were high. And not only did I not like it, I didn't like it because I thought it was a bad game, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like Dark Souls, but I don't think it's a bad game. I don't like,
Hmm.
I like Balatro well enough, but I'm not going to play it anymore because the RNG gets to me. Mina the
Yeah,
Hollower, I think, is a bad game,
man, it's
and
crazy.
it was hugely disappointing for me.
I was gonna tell you that I think the last time I was deeply disappointed in anything, and again, this is counter to the rest of the internet,
Mm,
was Breath of the Wild. I was
mm-hmm,
so disappointed in that game. But you know what? Though you kind of softened the blow because you were telling me about the game
mm-hmm.
as you were playing it, so I kind of knew a little bit as to what to expect. But even after playing it, that's where I actually had any kind of emotional letdown, I think, for a game was Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, yeah,
I really wanted to like that game. I just couldn't. But it was nothing like what it's not the levels of what you got here with Mina at all.
yeah. Oh no, no,
Um,
no, no. Yeah,
and I can't argue. I mean, I just don't like the design choice for Zelda. That's all. It just happens to be a wannabe clone of Dark Souls now a little bit,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
it's a little bit annoying. But that's not really doesn't make it a bad game. It's just not the game I was hoping for what I expect from a Zelda franchise type of game.
Yeah,
Um,
no,
that's it.
absolutely.
That's not even. It's not. It pales in comparison to your to your anger with Mina.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Anyway,
anyway,
I will take my soapbox and I will put it back in my pocket. And
save it for next week. I'm sure we'll have something else to talk about.
I'm there. We
So
always do. We always do. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Um, uh, I check my calendar. I'll be here next week. So if unless there's a reason why you won't be, we'll be around. In the meantime, why don't you head on over to calamityjane.rocks? That'll take you to our Patreon site. You can subscribe and help us make this cartoon a reality. Otherwise, you've already found us on Facebook and YouTube because you're watching the stream right now. We also have an Instagram at Calamity Jane Salamander. Just another place where we update information and give fans and keep them updated on what our progress is. But in the meantime, stay safe out there, everybody, and we will see you next week. Good night.
see you next week. Good night.